Most A-level math students do not struggle because they lack ability. They struggle because they are expected to perform in exams without being trained for how exams actually behave. Now, parents say to me, my child understands the topic in lessons, but it doesn't show up in exam results. It doesn't show up in their mocks. It doesn't show up in their school assessments. And this gap is very, very common. And it doesn't mean that the teaching in school has failed. It doesn't mean that schools, tutors, and after-school programs don't work. It's just because all those things rely heavily on the textbook. And that's not a criticism, it's just a practical decision. The textbook provides a shared baseline, it matches what students buy, and it allows lessons to run at scale. That's why the textbook is made. The issue is that the exams are not written from the textbook. You know, exams test how well a student handles unfamiliar wording, subtle changes in notation, and combinations of ideas that they haven't seen presented in the exact way before. For example, a student might be perfectly comfortable differentiating functions when the question is clearly signposted. However, in an exam, that same differentiation question might be embedded in a modeling question, written differently, combined with logs. Then you might have to do some sort of interpretation, you might have to sketch something, and that's a lot more tricky. So the difficulty isn't differentiation, the difficulty is recognizing what the question is actually asking. Now, when I learn a topic in maths, I don't stop at understanding just one method. I ask myself, what are all the rules of this topic? How can it be phrased? How can the notation change? How can it be combined with other ideas? That's what I do when I try and learn a new maths. And once you start doing that, questions stop feeling random. They start feeling like different versions of the same structure. Most students are never trained to think this way. They practice really basic questions, feel confident, and then feel blindsided when exams look very, very unfamiliar. And look, I'm not saying that the textbook is all bad. It's a good baseline, complete it, absolutely, but you must do harder and harder questions. More practice, it doesn't solve the issues that your child is facing if the practice is narrow. Got to see more varieties of maths. That's what makes you better, not worse. And this is why A-level maths mastery is built around structured exposure to exam question variation. So students learn each topic through multiple wordings, notations, and one of the main things that we do, we show students the same topics from different exam boards, so they've seen all varieties of questions. So they start to see patterns before they actually start solving the question. And that's what turns understanding into really, really good exam performance. Now, if you want to see what this actually looks like, the simplest next step is to watch a few sample lessons. We want to make sure that you actually like our teaching style, structure, notes, etc. Now, not to commit to anything, it's just to see how everything works, okay? So that alone makes it clear whether our approach will fit in to what you guys are looking for.